Hi, it's Tootie Tagerly live from San Francisco about noon on a Tuesday. And I've been gone for a little while because I took a lot of the last 3 weeks off in Thailand to visit my parents, but excited to come back to talk about mission, vision, perspective, Eames, all that good stuff. So I'm actually going to play a silent video and talk around it, actually. So, what I'm sharing is a video from Ray and Charles Eames. You can see the graininess that it's a little while ago, and it's a very famous Powers of 10 video. It's shot in Chicago, and really, this short film, the whole film is only 9 minutes, and you can search for it on YouTube and watch it, but it's really about perspective and being able to zoom in and out, as in what happens if you add another zero and another zero and another zero. And you can see, shot in Chicago, we kind of get to exponential power pretty quickly for zooming out. And why I think this matters is that as leaders, it's really rare that we can get this completely zoomed out view of our businesses, our leadership, our teams, our lives, because so much time is typically spent in the nitty-gritty, in the here and now, in the firefighting part of it. And I know as a designer, it was a really big skill to be able to go into the detail level and zoom out to the top level. And you can see, hey, we're going pretty far out. And I have this YouTube video playing, I think at double speed, and I'm actually going to go forward a little bit because once they go out, then they start coming back in. So I'm going to kind of come forward into the coming back in to see if I can manage to not miss it, which I think I did. All right, so maybe I cannot come back into the right in, but you can see what they do is they end up zooming back into the angstrom level of the human body all the way back in. So I'm going to stop sharing, but it's one of my favorite pieces of documentary and film, really talking about the powers of 10 and that perspective in and out. So in our daily lives, we're often firefighting. And one tool that gets you into these powers of 10 mode is the power of setting and creating a mission and vision statement. And don't get me wrong, this is not something that you want to be doing every single day. You would drive yourself crazy if you were at that, 10,000 foot or space level all the time. You have to be pragmatic and get the roadmaps, get the to-do list, get the projects, get things done. But the danger is when you spend all of your time with that myopic view doing all of that firefighting, because then you miss the big picture. You miss the forest because you're so focused on the individual trees. So on Friday, I had the pleasure of leading a workshop for a number of founders at 500 startups, and in the spirit of that, I thought I would share a little bit of the learnings and how to set and create your mission and vision, what it is really, and what you start to do with it. So the first thing about a mission statement, it's something that's short, it's something that's concise, and it's something that helps you understand the what, the who, and the how. It's the North Star for your company and where it's going. And you know what? Failed to add the slides, but I will just do that on the fly as we are going to do that, because something that I think is really important is really to see a couple of examples of it, but more importantly, just sometimes it helps to see a definition because it can be hard for people to completely understand it. So and the other thing I wanted to share is sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between mission and vision as well. And when I've looked at countless examples, I'll tell you a dirty little secret. Many people don't know, and many people do it differently. The closest definition that I can give is that mission's for right now. It's the what, who, how of what we're doing right now. And vision is bigger. Vision is more future. Vision is just a little bit more time out. All right, so I am going to walk you to this. So what's a mission statement? A short, unique phrase that captures what the company does, how it does it, for who, and then sometimes the why. Sometimes they have that, sometimes they don't. Pretty good, right? Seems pretty straightforward, seems pretty easy, but really not so easy. Um, then we've been talking about mission versus vision. So I think here's some of the differences. As I said, mission now, vision in 3 years. A lot of times I see the mission as being the what, the how, and vision, you start to add in the why, the meaning, well, what's the inspiration? Why am I really working here? And why do I want to stay here? Not just for the stuff we're doing today, but the awesome and cool stuff we're going to be doing in a couple of years. And how is that going to improve and scale to change the world? And then finally, something that I've seen is like the audience is often different. A mission might be for internal and external, it might be for fundraising, for funding, for internal employees, for recruiting. But oftentimes, vision might be internal only because you might get it wrong, especially working with seed stage startups. It's going to change. So it's not necessarily something you want to get out there and publicize unless you're a much bigger stage company. All right. So what do? It's really, you spend some time brainstorming, ideating, iterating, thinking about what your competitors do, who your customers are, what are the different groups of audiences, and what's the thing that you and your company have that's unique. And it might not be at the company level, it might be at the team level. And it's understanding what is it that you do that's uniquely different than anyone else? Who do you serve? That part's not going to be uniquely different, but it's different if you're a B2B versus B2C, if you serve a group of moms versus grandparents, and how you do it that's different from anyone else. And that's the way to start to get this 10,000-foot view. We're not going to go through the exact exercise and workshop. Message me if this is something that you are interested in knowing more about. But the second part of it that's really interesting is you're going to have a bunch of words on a page. Why this matters is you want to test it and iterate it. It's hard to be a creator. You feel that the thing that you created is not very good. And to be honest, very often first drafts, actually all the time, your first draft is going to be a shitty first draft. That's okay. What you do with it is you test and you iterate. And what do I mean by test? Grab a bunch of people and say, hey, will you listen to this? Will you listen to me talk about what this series of words is? So for example, my mission statement is to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. What do you think of it? What do you pick up from it? What resonates? And for some people might say, oh, one neighborhood at a time, that's really resonant. Someone else might say, oh, human spirit, that's really special to me. And this is the test that you get by trying with people around. And then you pay more attention, of course, with the people who are closest to you, your closest partners, your co-founders, the people on your team to see, hey, does this feel right and on brand with the mission of what we do? And of course, that mission statement was Starbucks, if you were wondering. Basically, the most important lesson here is get it out of your head. Don't worry about wordsmithing. Don't worry about that yet. Get it out of your head and get it around to share to get other people's reactions. And then thirdly, once you have a mission statement, live it. And what I mean by live it is share it with your team. Put it on, I don't know, coffee mugs if you want. Put it on the spreadsheets. Use them at the start of your all hands. Because unless you're really going to live it and use it as a framework for this decision we're going to make, does it feel on mission? For this new group of customers that we're going to serve, does it feel on mission? For this new feature, does it feel on mission? You can use that as criteria, because otherwise it's going to be some foofy thing that you created once with a group of people, maybe with some brand strategists, put it on a poster and forgot about it. So it's really about living it. All right. We started with the Eames Power of 10 because it's so important to get perspective all the way zoomed out and all the way zoomed in. And the easiest way, the most powerful way I know to do that is to use mission and vision to get out of daily firefighting mode. And what's important about mission and vision is really understanding the what, who, how, getting really crisp about it, getting it out of your head to test it with other people, whether it's strangers, family, but more importantly, your trusted partners and team. And then finally, Don't just set it and forget it. You got to live it. You got to live it in how you do your work every day. All right, that's it for today. The power of mission and vision. Chat soon.